We live. We back in the building. What's going on, people? Well, right now I'm talking to myself, but what's up, people? It's your boy Yusuff, Big Man Yus, is back on your airwaves with the reaction. Those TDA alumni will be familiar with the reaction. It was mine and Margs' sports reaction show, or segment, shall I say. But now bringing it back as a fully fledged, show of my own, essentially. Reacting to football, basketball, sports, whatever sports kind of, tickles my fancy. Might do some movies, might do some music, some entertainment, and just whatever I kind of feel like I want to talk about and react to, really. So expect variety, but right now, as you can tell from, that's the wrong side, the emblem on my chest, we're here to talk about the Arsenal, and what's been a very frustrating season thus far, and obviously we're at the end of it. So I'm going to cover the last 7 games and 8 potentially if we make it to the Champions League final, God willing. And just kind of break down my thoughts and your thoughts as well on the season so far. How we see the season ending, and I have a question as well that I want to propose to the audience. Very poignant question, and just kind of get into it, man, because this was meant to be the season, and it still could be the season, but there's a saying, man, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And Arsenal have shown us who they are, in this iteration anyway, for the last 3 years, going on 4 years, and I believe them, but I still believe that people can change. All right, we got our first comment. Shout out to Tims_094. We outscore City, we win. Simple. Yeah. We outscore City, we win. Simple. But no, we have to, goal difference, goal scored. But I'm not even too fussed about, not fussed, but my focus is on winning the games. 3 points every game is what matters to me. Obviously, score as much goals as you can, because if it comes down to goal difference or even goals scored, we need to make sure. But the way we're going right now, we're not scoring plenty of goals. We're not attacking on all fronts. Goals galore hasn't been our strong point lately. So I'm not banking on Arsenal scoring a bunch of goals in the next 4 league games left. We scored 1 yesterday against Newcastle. Could have had more. But at least we got the 3 points, right? But yeah, definitely score. Definitely, we need to score as many goals as we can, because if it does come down to goal difference, we need to make sure that we've got more goals than City. It's as simple as that, man. But you know what I mean, guys? If you want to call in, the number is 0203 8787870. Welcome back, you. Shout out, Mr. Black Boy Joy. I'm back, baby. Appreciate you. So yeah, let's get into yesterday's game real quick. So I never watched the game, actually. Unfortunately, I was hiking. I'm a hiker, amongst other things. Excuse me. So I didn't watch the game, but I obviously watched the highlights. I tuned into a few, post-match reactions, analysis from the pundits. So I've got a sense of, what happened, what the energy and the feeling is around the game from the fans. And what I have ascertained is it was a very nervy affair, tense. There was definitely opportunities for us to score more goals, but we never took them. A few key moments of the game that, could have swung things more in our favour. A Gyökeres misplaced pass being one of the main things I've been hearing people scream about. Obviously, there was the red card for Pope that, was a yellow. I think it was I know why I was given a yellow, because there was a defender who was running back who would have, challenged Gyökeres if Gyökeres got through. So I get why it was a yellow, but either way, we won the game. So who cares? Who cares? What else? Hold on, this Mac's in my way. Shout out to LMMIS_snow_globe. Oh, nice to see you, Yus. Nice to see you too, darling. Nice to see you too. Akua Mandy, welcome back. Thank you. I am back on your airwaves. Thank you. But yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal. So we've got 5 games left. Obviously now 4, but we done our job. We secured all 3 points yesterday, thanks to a brilliant goal by Eberechi Eze. And it's funny because obviously there's this whole set piece routine that we done in that game where Madueke passed the ball to Odegaard and then Odegaard to Eze. I believe the first attempt, remember I didn't watch the game, but the first attempt I think just flopped. The second attempt, Eze got his shot off, but it was wide. And then the third time, I don't know if the third time Madueke went against the plan and thought, you know what, I'm going to pass it to Havertz instead. Or that was the plan. All right, this is the third time. They're thinking I'm passing it to Odegaard. Odegaard runs to me as a decoy. I pass it to Havertz. Havertz to Eze. And what a finish. What a finish from the boy. As quiet as kept, I think Eze's got the best goal collection this season. He has. In terms of, early doors, I was giving it to Zubi, but Zubi has scored for a while. But in terms of like quality of goals, from any of our players, Eze definitely has the best collection this season. Satch Crow, big up to you, man. What are you saying? Senor, chill boy. I was expecting Big Man used to be there for the Man City versus Arsenal game. What do you mean here? Yeah, you know what? The plan was to actually start this show in May, so I am actually a little bit early, to be fair. And Man City, what was I doing? Yeah, I wasn't free, but I definitely should have been here, to be fair, but I wasn't free that day. Prophet_C_arts, welcome back. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Don't forget, guys, if you want to call in, you got a question, you want to vent, you want to just, get something off your chest, 0203 8787 870. I wonder if, Brent, did you buy this number? Because it's very, very convenient. You did? I knew it. I'm thinking, where did you get 8787? And why 87? Why did you pick 87? Okay. No, it does. 0203 8787 870. Call in right now. You want to, speak to the boy. Great to see you back, Yus. Great to see you back on our screens, Yus. Thank you. Appreciate it. Davina from Brum. Shout out Brum. Shout out Birmingham. All right, I've got notes because I didn't watch the game, so, I made notes. What this game means is we have now gone back to the top of the league. We've got our 3 points back, but obviously City have a game in hand and they all have 2 games in hand because we play again before they play. So we play against Fulham before they play against Everton. So potentially and hopefully by the time City play, we'll be 6 points ahead, maybe 4, but hopefully 6. Definitely not 3. We cannot lose to Fulham or draw in my opinion. So my mind state right now is just beat Fulham. Just beat Fulham and then hopefully whatever the universe puts on City, is in our favour, whether it be pressure or just a bad game or, a great Everton performance, whatever. But just beat Fulham on Saturday. I'll be here for that as well. I'll be covering every single game from now to the end of the season. So Champions League included, of course. I'll be here. Then once the season's over, I'll potentially be looking at maybe covering some select World Cup games, and I might even touch on the playoffs as well. But the thing about NBA is the games obviously are late, right? So I don't know how it's going to work if, I'm watching a game at 3 a.m. and then I have to come in here. So it might just be a delayed reaction of sorts. Watching DCF 994, watching Raptors basketball, trying to give Arsenal a break. Are the Raptors in the playoffs? And the Raptors ain't winning, so. But shout out you though. Shout out you. Sundays is at 6. DCF 994, what's at 6? What game's at 6 on Sunday? Let me know. Because if it is a game I can watch and react to, I will. But I'm not going to When it comes to NBA, just to let you guys know, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a New York Knicks fan, and I'm a LeBron James fan. So wherever LeBron James goes, I support that team. So right now, I'm obviously a Lakers fan and a Knicks fan. So I'm tracking the Lakers and I'm tracking the Knicks. And if both those teams are eliminated, then I'll see who I want to kind of like cheer for. But back to Arsenal, that's why we're here today. Give me a second. All right, cool. Eze goal, great goal. That's why he was signed, to be fair, to be the difference maker and to be a moments man. And I think Eze's been a moments man this season. And it may continue, to be fair. But he did go off injured. But he did seem okay. He was walking. He even had post-match interviews. But he said to whoever he was speaking to that, he's fine. It was just a precaution. But he said that after the Leverkusen game, and then he was gone for a month. So I don't believe him. I'll believe him when I see him on the pitch on Wednesday, if he's going to be fine. But he claims he's fine, but we'll see. Also, Havertz as well went off injured. He looked a bit more serious than Eze. Right now, see these injuries in our team is so jarring. It's like one in, one out. Literally, whenever someone is back from injury, another person gets injured. It's literally like how many games have we seen Eze and Odegaard start together this season? Like Saka just come back, Havertz is gone. Odegaard just come back, Eze might be injured. It's just been one in, one out like a nightclub this whole year. Mr. Black Boy Joy, thoughts on Arsenal fans booing corners. Did we boo corners yesterday? Or do you mean booing the... What do you mean booing corners? Arsenal fans booing corners. What happened? Brent, can you enlighten me? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess they were booing corners because the corners didn't work and they weren't what the fans were used to. So we're used to, Rice or Odegaard, or even Madueke, to be fair, swinging them in and then, hoping one of the big boys gets contact on it. So I guess because we didn't do our regular corner kick routine, I guess, and we tried something new and it didn't work twice, that's probably why fans were booing. But fans shouldn't boo, man. You got to let the team try new things. And guess what? It worked. So, yeah. Akua Mandy, yeah, I was there live. Boos, they brought the ball back to our half. Again, fans are just frustrated. You know what it is? I'll say this as well. So, what's happening right now with Arsenal and the fans, like, despite the fact that we're top of the league and in a Champions League semi-final, right, it's not enjoyable because we suffer from PTSD, trauma from previous seasons, so we can't even enjoy the fact that we're top of the league. We can't even enjoy the fact that we're in a Champions League semi-final because we just believe our team isn't going to get over the line. And like, I haven't enjoyed Arsenal for a while, to be fair. It's been a while since I've actually enjoyed. One, because we've been playing poorly anyway, and two, just the nerves of what seems to be another immense dip in form, and it's hard to really put your finger on why this happens to us. Is it, obviously you can say it's fatigue, it's, Arteta not, rotating the players enough, team management, is it tactics, is it teams figuring us out, is it mental, are the players... One narrative I hate, I can't stand, is the whole, the players are nervous. But what are you nervous about? You're playing football. Like, you're playing football and you're winning. So you're nervous. And the whole, it's scared to win. They're scared to win. They're scared to play football. If these things are true, cool. But I don't understand that mentality. You're playing football. You have a chance to finally win the Premier League after over 20 years. And you are crumbling again. And we're not entitled to a easy title. Like, we don't have to win this league by 10 points. We don't have to win this league by 15 points, right? We could win the league by a point and it's fine, right? But the reason why there's so much frustration because of what we are doing early on, and we're creating a lead, we're creating a buffer where it looks like it's gonna be easy, and then we let that buffer slip. That's frustrating. If it was Arsenal City, back and forth where they're top, we're top, they're top, we're top, they're top for maybe a couple of weeks, then what's happening right now will be easier to bear because that would have had been this narrative from the start of the season. But because they were poor, we were good, we had a 9-point lead, this point lead, that point lead, and gradually that lead just kept going and getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's like, brother, you guys are letting it slip again. What is happening? Let's get back to these comments. Mr. Blackboy Joy, the new corner was the first two. Yeah. Scared to win is mad. Starts from Arteta. Yeah. The thing is, you see, I'm old school when it comes to football, right? So I don't even like this whole XG, GA, Phil Till, all this metrics. I'm old school, man. And football right now seems to be like the manager is like has too much control. And that's kind of how I feel about Arteta. I feel like he's a manager who has too much control. I feel like however he feels, and even to the point where I feel like players aren't even using their own discretion on the pitch. You've been given instructions, and if in a live game situation the instructions cannot be played out, then change the plan in real time. And I feel like the players don't do that enough where, okay, cool, we've been told to play it from the back. In one game move, if you can't play it from the back, then play it long. Just change, use your own discretion and adapt to what's happening in real time. And I feel like whatever Arteta's ethos is having too much of effect on the players, I think. So yeah. The last 20 minutes yesterday looked very nervy, I can't lie. It's ironic seeing City's 1-0 versus Arsenal's 1-0. City never felt nervy whatsoever versus Burnley, just wasteful. I don't watch the game, but from what I've heard, it was a nervy affair. I did see Zubimendi lost the ball at one point, and I think that led to a Newcastle shot that obviously didn't go in. There's a lot. I think nerves is, it's everywhere, man. It's nerves from the players, nerves from the fans, the managers, even the pundits. But yeah, man. But one thing I'm going to say actually as well, with Arteta and the narratives around Arteta, I'm tired of he don't trust this player, he don't trust that player. He is a defensive-minded coach. He has, he's scuppered the players' creativity. He's scuppered their freedom. We play possession-based football. All the narratives. The one I hate the most is he don't trust this player, he don't trust that player, and I don't even believe Arteta is a defensive-minded coach per se. Because people talk to me and they speak to me as if Arteta's telling the players not to score. And you know what, Brent, let's get the question in, because I think this is the perfect time actually. So I got a question of the day. I'm going to propose to you guys. I'm going to give my answer first. Then, if you want to call in as well, let me know your thoughts. So the question is, if Arteta doesn't win a trophy this season, does he stay or does he go? All right. We're going to get back to the game as well and just the season, but let's just get this cracking. So I try my hardest not to be too caught up in the moment, right? And I try to remember what Arteta has done for us from the minute he joined until now. And he did take us from a team that was in the Europa League. He had 2 consecutive 8th-place finishes, then a 5th, then I believe this run of second, right? So for the first time in decades, Arsenal are challenging for the league consistently. We are qualifying for the Champions League consistently. We are now, the conversations around Arsenal are expectation to win the big trophies. And this hasn't been the Arsenal narrative for a very, very long time. And I cannot forget that, right? We're no longer talking about, finishing fourth and Thursday nights. It's like, we don't even acknowledge the fact that we qualify for the Champions League again. That was, in prior seasons, that was a thing. Like, we don't even acknowledge it no more. It's an afterthought that we are in the Champions League next season again, because no one cares, because we've almost leaped over that target, right? That objective. So Arteta has, and also this is probably the best squad we've had in God knows how long, right? Since probably, the Invincibles era. With all that being said, all I'm saying is, before I say what I'm going to say, I do appreciate where we're at, but we do need to get over the line now. Like, finishing second every season isn't good enough, but it is better than what we had before. But we've reached a new level now, innit? Like, our trajectory is upwards, so we need to keep going upwards. So, with that being said, question again: if Arteta doesn't win a trophy this season, does he stay or go? I'm not Arteta out, but I would welcome change. I would welcome a new manager, an elite manager, and I'm actually excited by the thought or the prospect of seeing what another manager could do with these players. That's my genuine answer. So, if Arteta was to stay next season, if he don't win a trophy, I'll be like, cool, this is probably his last shot. And then if we're trophyless again, God forbid, because I can't even fathom that, right? I'll be Arteta out. Like, Arteta out. Right? But if he was to leave or be sacked this season, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry. I'm Odegaard out because that might be the change we need. No, Odegaard isn't. Odegaard leaving will not change Arsenal's fortunes, to be fair. Odegaard is a good player. He's not playing, to his best right now and hasn't been. But I don't think his him being in our team is that detrimental. Because remember, we have Eze now. We have, hopefully, Wanyeri can be someone who's used next season. So I don't believe we rely on Odegaard to where him staying means that, it's doom and gloom. I think he can be a part of our squad. I think we can use him in games where he's best suited and rotate him with Wanyeri and Eze. Even though I do want to see Eze more on the left next season. Oh, sorry, you're replying to someone else. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. So yeah, that's my answer, right? So essentially, it's if we don't win this season, you got one more season to win something. If not, you can go. But if he was to leave this season, at the end of the season, I wouldn't mind. I would definitely welcome a new manager and just see what that manager can do for us, man. Because we have a good squad. I believe our summer window, in regards to numbers, in regards to depth, was great. But in hindsight, some of the choices we made, we could have, we didn't get the best striker available. We didn't. And that's not even based on hindsight, to be fair. When we got Gyökeres, I didn't think he was the best of the bunch. Oh, clearly he's not, because he's not better than Isak. But in hindsight, and when it happened, both those things, he wasn't the best, but it is what it is. Madueke, I believe the fans are starting to turn on him again. When he first came in, obviously it was, protests and lots of rage around his signing. Then, initially, I think when the season started and he was playing decently, everyone was kind of happy with his signing, Saka back up, whatever. And now his performances have dipped again. Everyone's like, oh, why did we sign Madueke? He's this, he's that. So that's fandom, innit? It's up and down. But one thing I can say is, brother, stop running the ball off the pitch. That's stop running the ball off the pitch, Madueke. Rumours are that the club have already started talks on a new deal weeks ago with Arteta, yeah? So to me, it seems like they are more than happy with just consistent USC money, trophies, not relevant to them. Yes or no? Yes or no? They could still see Arteta as the man for the job, right? Because, like I said, we are top of the league. We have now been in 2 semi-finals for the Champions League, 2 years in a row. So he just hasn't got over the line yet, right? So it's not. I don't think it's they're just happy with the money. They're just happy to it's like a business to them, which it is. But I think they do want to win, for sure. But Arteta hasn't given them enough reason to sack him yet. And also, you're forgetting, Arsenal aren't Chelsea. Arsenal don't sack managers and rotate managers like Chelsea do, or like United have done since Ferguson left. You got to always remember that. Remember the club that you support. Remember what their history is and what their model is. And Arsenal don't sack managers. I'm even surprised they sacked Emery so fast, to be fair, because that was a very un-Arsenal move, in my opinion. So Arsenal not sacking a manager who's finishing second. That's the truth, to be fair. So I think the only way Arteta leaves is if, the board, get really tired of, the capitulations and the lack of trophies, and there's someone else who they believe is better is available. That's the thing as well. Because look at Chelsea, you signed Liam Rosinia and he's gone after how long? You got to pay him 24 million. You know what I mean? So the grass isn't always green on the other side, people, and that is the truth. They couldn't stand Noni yesterday, the people I was sitting around. Yeah, Noni's one of them players. He'll score a worldie like against Club Brugge, absolute banger. Then, what game was it when he skied it to row 24 from like 3 yards out? Like the goal was here and he skied it there. Like, so Noni's one of them players, like Marmite. But I do feel like he needs a bit more time. I know that's probably a cliche thing to say, but I'm not ready to just sack him off yet. But consistency and control and better decision making, and also he seems like he can't like controlling your speed and controlling your movement a bit. Like you can't run the ball off. You can't run the ball off the pitch. Like it don't make no sense. My thoughts on Gyökeres have changed now. I think he should stay. Like we cannot be just spearheading the attack. Gyökeres. I think 1, he needs another season in the Premier League, and 2, I think he's a good option. He's a different kind of striker. Like we have 3 very different strikers right now. Unfortunately, none of them are even that good. But we have imagine you can merge Jesus, Havertz, and Gyökeres together. It'll be perfect, right? But Gyökeres as an option next season, I think would be good. But my take was at the start of the season that he was only going to be here for 2 years. So I think Gyökeres will leave next summer. 1, because I believe Arteta wanted Sesko and not Gyökeres. And Gyökeres, based off of what we've seen, isn't really at the level. He isn't at the level, to be fair. And that's why he can't be our number 1, starting striker next season. We should have got Etatike, but that's hindsight. Ideally, obviously, Isak would have been number 1, but Etatike definitely would have been second choice. All right, let me get back to my notes. But yeah, shout out everyone in the chat. Don't forget to call in if you want to call in. Where am I at? All right, City. So City beat Southampton yesterday 2-1. So they're through to the semi-finals. Does that extra game have a bearing or a say on anything? It definitely changes their schedule now, I believe, because their game against Palace still has to be rescheduled, and now this game might play a part in their schedule as well. So they might have a bunch of games in hand. But yeah, I want to see some answers to my questions, please. So if you have an answer to my question, if Arteta doesn't win a trophy this season, does he stay or go? You don't have to give a long-winded spiel. You can just give me like a little 1 word or 1 line answer to read off. But let me get Brent's opinion quickly. Brent, what are you saying? if Arteta doesn't win this season, does he stay or go? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, sorry. First show, people. I forgot. You can't even hear Brett. You can't even hear him. But yeah, call in, guys. I want some callers, man.
All right, they can hear me now.
All right, they can. All right, cool.
All right, so if he doesn't win a trophy this season, he should be given one more season, in my estimation. I would understand the furore against that, right? I'd understand many of the fans even looking to drum up some sort of protest before the window opens, the transfer window opens. I think when the transfer window opens and they start seeing the acquisitions or who's leaving, I think they would change their tune. This is my hot take.
Okay.
If he doesn't win and he stays, there's going to be pushback. And then they would change their tune once it is acquisitions are made and people are kicked out.
All right, cool. When you say acquisition, you're just talking about new signings, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. We can get into signings talk as well. All right. I hear that. But can I just say, actually, before I even... You see, not winning anything this season is actually kind of like... I don't know what word to use to describe it. It's
failure.
I can't even, like, it's unfathomable. Like, let me even rewind, because obviously this is my first show and it's been a whole season of things that have been occurring. The Carabao Cup final, right? Your first chance to win a trophy since you won the FA Cup, a trophy that Arsenal have been failing at for since forever, right? And I know, the statement I'm about to make doesn't necessarily mean we win, but it gives us a better chance. Play your best goalkeeper, man. I know this is an old story, guys, but bear with me. Play your best goalkeeper, man. Because did Kepa not make a mistake in that game that led to a goal? Yes, he did. Like, and Arteta being the seemingly brutal, heartless, cold manager that he seems to be, you would think he wouldn't make a choice based off of sentiment. As if, I told you were my cup keeper, so I'm going to stick by you in the final. No. Play your best keeper. Even though Raya, don't get me wrong, Raya's had his moments this season, but no. So, first and foremost, you fail to win the easiest trophy, even though it was against hard opposition, but you never gave yourself the best chance to win, right? If Arsenal lose that final with Raya in goal, playing well, it's easier to take. But you've given the fans something to cry about because you didn't play your best keeper. Injuries to Eze, that's something we can do about that, right? I believe if Eze played that game, because remember, we had no Eze, we had no Odegaard, we had no Wanyeri, so we had no 10, right? If Eze plays or Odegaard plays and Raya plays, I believe we might win that game. Again, it's City. So even with your best 11 out, you could still lose to City, fair enough. But you didn't give yourself the best chance to win because you didn't play your best goalkeeper. And you play the keeper who has a track record in this cup. He's the keeper. Do you remember him who didn't come off the pitch? When his manager said, he said, no. This is the man you chose? The man that refused to come off the pitch. Like, come on, man. So that's one. All right. So you throw away the first chance to win a trophy in God knows how long. Then you lose to Southampton in the FA Cup. A team that's in, what are they in? Championship? League One? I don't remember. I don't know. Either way, you lose. You lost. And obviously, by that point, form's gone, injuries galore, and the momentum's just not with us, right? But the two easy trophies are done, dusted in a week, to be fair, right? So, and again, just to let the fans know, I'm sure those who you listened to me in the past, I'm not a bullshitter, right? This whole quadruple thing, air. if anyone actually thought we were going to win 4 trophies, you need to have your head checked. There was no way in hell we were going to win 4 trophies. Even 3, even 2 was, to me was kind of out of the question unless it was one of the big boys and one of the small boys, right? So I, when things were going well, thought we would win the league and the Carabao Cup. And that was going to be my thing. Yeah, we're going to win the league, Carabao Cup, I'll take that. Big ears, small ears, cool. And yeah, we lost that final. You know when I thought we're going to win the league was the Everton game. I even went and bought my top for the parade. I went and bought the 92-94 home kit. I was going to buy it anyway, but that game was like, yep, Max Dalman, go. I bought the kit. I haven't even unwrapped it. I've just left it in the corner on my bedroom. No, I haven't. I've just left it in the corner. So yeah, that was when I was like, yep, we're going to win the league. And look at the difference a couple of weeks make, mate. So yeah, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, cool. Now let's talk about the league. We didn't lose. Well, I'm praying we still win the league, but just to let you know, I haven't told you guys where I'm at with the league. So I'm not saying this because I'm trying to spare my feelings or anything of the sorts. I know it's 50-50 right now, isn't it? Like, we're essentially, even though we are top right now, let's look at it as what it was prior to this game. Level on points, level on goal difference. And I say that because obviously City have a game in hand. So anyone can do it. But based off of form, momentum, energy, injuries, and the whole gravitas around the club, I don't want to. I'm an Arsenal fan, so it's tough to say this on camera, but I'm here. Put it this way. Prior to winning yesterday, I was saying it's done. It's City's league. Arsenal have lost momentum. We've lost confidence. We're anxious. We're not going to do it. We have collapsed again. We have bottled it again, right? Now, football's up and down. Fandom's up and down. Yesterday's win has kind of reinforced the fact that it's literally a 5-game shootout and it could go either way. So I'm a bit more hopeful now, but just for transparency, prior to yesterday's game, I was like, it's done. It is done. Hey, Yusuff, great seeing you again. Shout out Eddie Carbone, my guy. Thank you, man. We got a terrorist as a manager. So they say, man. So they say. He's lost like 5 finals in a row. Kepa. Yeah, Kepa is he's a bad omen for the Carabao Cup. It's clear. And I'll tell you, even said that when a player has an association to a particular game or team, he kind of uses that. So, for example, Eze, seemingly having the time of his life when he plays Spurs. So, if we play Spurs, he's always going to start Eze because Eze has a good time against Spurs, right? So that's using, factors outside of just the football to dictate decisions. And he said that himself. He was asked this question, right? Playing Eze against his former club, him scoring the only goal in the game. Little things like that could make a difference, right? Even like something like, even though it never happened, Gyökeres scoring against Sporting or, playing him against Sporting because that's his former club. Just any narrative, right? Hello. Oh, we got a call?
Yeah, let me just find out who he is.
All right, cool. What was I going to say? Yes, so with that being said, if you know that Kepa has a track record of losing or just having meltdowns in the Carabao Cup final, why did you play him? That's the point I'm trying to make. But yeah, caller.
All right, Chijoke.
Hello, sir. Hello. Brent, there's no one there.
He has to speak. Speak.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah, but he's not answering. Hold up. Yo, Chijoke.
Yeah, yeah, I can. Can you not hear me?
Now,
I'm speaking.
hold up.
I can hear you now, but
Hold up.
I can hear you through Brent's side, not through
Let
my
me
headphones.
see.
All right, guys, we've got our first caller. Let's see what he has to say for himself.
Yeah, he might have to call back. Hold up.
All right, cool. He's gonna call back. So yeah, what I was saying, yeah. Anyway, you guys get the drift, man. Play your best keeper. So yeah, my ultimate point here was, oh yeah, no, the only, I guess, part of our season that's remained positive the whole way through is Champions League, because we're unbeaten. Even though the tie against Sporting didn't fill us with much hope, because we scored one goal over 2 legs. We aren't particularly playing well right now, so we're not. I feel like even though we are, primed in a great position to win it, because of the feelings around the club, no one's really talking like we're going to win the Champions League. Even though we could, even though we have every right to, even though we are unbeaten in it, we just feel like, current form is going to dictate, the result at the end of the day, innit? So, but we can still win it, man. Still win it. Just beat Atletico, which we beat them. Remember, we beat them 4-1, I believe, earlier on in the season. I know we beat PSG last season and lost to them. So, yep, I know, but we can beat Atletico. Then it's either PSG or Bayern in the final, and we owe both of them teams one. So we owe Bayern one, we owe them one, and we owe PSG one. So it can happen, man. Again, we've been different in the Champions League this season. We haven't lost a game. So if the team who hasn't lost a game win it, then you know what I mean? It makes sense, right? So fingers crossed we can get through. I'll be here on Wednesday as well to cover that, and I'm going to watch it here as well. I'm going to watch it and I'm going to jump straight in the booth afterwards.
Let's see if he's on the line now.
All right, cool. Hello, sir.
All right.
No?
Chijoke, jump on the Discord.
Yeah, jump on Discord
Jump
and
on
then
Discord and you'll be patched in.
as in jump in to leave his comment on the screen, you mean?
No. He's he has to click the link. He knows how to get to the Discord.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, not winning something this season, I can't even fathom it, man. It's this team, man. This team will take you on a journey, man. Being an Arsenal fan is tough. It is tough, man. It's tough. Oh, I'm gonna say something as well that I need to get off my chest. And I'm pretty sure there's no United fans listening, but United fans are making me sick right now. Not all of you, but some of you. Like, a lot of United fans are more invested in what's happening with us than what's happening with them. More invested in...
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, not too bad. I was hoping we could talk a bit more of the NBA playoffs. I know we're doing the Arsenal lamenting, but
Yeah.
let's try and, like, because I know you're here for like other things as well of your reaction. So
Yeah, of course,
I was hoping we could get into that as well. So I don't know how much you've been catching up on it or how much you've been looking into it, but in terms of who you think's doing quite well right now in the
So,
playoffs.
I've been doing the highlights right now. Let me bring up the standings just so I can jog my memory, right?
Okay.
But while I do that, who are you... guys, we're going to segue quickly into NBA, right? Who are you backing? Who are you supporting?
I'm trying to just be NBA fan. I've never truly picked a team.
Okay.
Because I've always been like, I'm a fan of the game, like sporadically. I'll watch, I'll catch it. I won't want to stay up and be stressed. As an Arsenal fan, I don't need to be stressed about any other teams in any other sports.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do the whole just watch the game and enjoy it. But
all right. No, that makes sense. Go on.
Still think OKC look quite strong. No, I was just gonna say I think OKC still look quite strong in the West. I don't know if they've got anyone in the East that can really match them right now. It's looking like it's gonna be them that gets through, and I think if they, if they look like they're probably gonna win it again.
I agree.
That's my own
So I'm looking at the bracket now, and OKC are up 3-0 to Suns. Lakers, against all odds, I would say as well, are up 3-0 to Rockets. Timberwolves 3-1 to the Nuggets. Spurs 2-1 over Portland. Magic 2-1 over Pistons, which I'm surprised about, to be fair. I thought Pistons would... Well, to be fair, it's not over.
I think Magic are a decent team, though.
No, they are, but...
I was surprised that they fell down the standings that much.
Yeah. But obviously, it's only 3-1. Pistons could come out, but Pistons have been the best team in the East the whole season.
Yeah.
Cavs are up 2-1 to Raptors. Knicks and Hawks 2-2, and Boston, Philly 2-1, right? So
Yeah.
I think OKC will win it all. I don't see anyone in the West beating them in the 7-game series. I don't see anyone in the East beating them unless it's Boston. So
I think the Boston story is amazing, though, because I thought this was going to be a down year for them. But for them to rise the way they've risen is a crazy story. That, on top of the fact that LeBron is playing with his son in the playoffs and is about to make it to the next round, that's crazy.
you know
Those two stories
Yeah.
this year.
I think the Boston story is because no one thought Tatum will be back, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't think they thought Jalen was going to be able to lift them, because I think they had a few pieces that left as well. So it's not like the same team
Porzingis,
just before the injury.
Yeah, Porzingis went Golden State. Al Horford was there last season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Al Horford and Porzingis both went to Golden State. And then Tatum. Yeah, no, you're jogging my memory. So last season, when Tatum got injured, the whole narrative was, oh, they're going to blow the team up. Like, they're done, basically. Like, you might as well trade Jaylen Brown, blow it up, start again, and wait for Tatum to come back and then let him lead the team. That was what I was hearing. That was the narrative, innit? And then, yeah, but that never happened, obviously. Obviously, Porzingis and Horford went. And Tatum, I never really followed his injury per se, but I did hear that he was out for the whole season. So for him to be back this quickly is a surprise. And yeah, man, the thing is, I don't like Boston Celtics, to be fair. So I like Jaylen Brown and Tatum, but I have dumb reasons for not liking them. But I don't like the green. I hate their court. I just don't like Boston.
I kind of hear you, but I hear you.
Their court is an
I hear
eyesore.
you more. Yeah, no, but I feel the same about Boston, the same way I feel the same about the Jazz. It's more to do with the fans. It's like, I know the historic way of how some of the fans talk about black people. And I'm like, you've not really adjusted, because Utah is a place that everyone used to complain about, saying, the racism and all of that over there. Because I remember, I think Russell Westbrook said it, that every time I go there, someone says something wild to me and no one talks about it. And I feel like Boston has a slight reputation of that every so often. I think...
You're not going on. No, I was going to say...
No.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it obviously used to be, but I still feel like there's that, kind of area still a bit... It's a bit...
So yeah, no, historically, Boston obviously has been known to be a racist city and fan base. But that's something I've forgotten about, to be fair, but you've just jogged my memory of it. And that's probably the root cause of why I don't like Boston. At the core is because of that. Then again, dumb reasons. I don't like the leprechaun, the clover, nothing. There's something, and someone just said in the chat is because I'm a Knicks fan that I don't like Boston. There's no correlation, There's no correlation to me not liking Boston and being a Knicks fan. I'm telling you, it's just I just don't like Boston. But yeah, OKC. Sorry, I was gonna say something before. Yes, sorry, you mentioned the LeBron thing, right? So I think this is my thoughts on. I'm a big LeBron James fan, yeah. And you see in life, when someone is too consistent at something and doing it well, right? It's overlooked, it's downplayed, and it's kind of forgotten about. What LeBron is doing at 41 years old right now is beyond
insane.
Incredible, yeah? That's one. He's
Yeah.
the level he's playing at. And whenever I think about LeBron playing now, I always think about other players who played till that age, like a Vince Carter, and
Right.
what kind of shape they were in. Even though Vince Carter now, he looks younger now than he did when he was playing in his last season. Like he had like bandages, he had plasters everywhere, and now he's just in a suit doing analytic work, whatever. He looks younger now, but what LeBron is doing at this age is incredible. And even though I believe he'll retire in the next 2 years, he looks like he could play for another 3-4 years. Like he looks incredible. And also, I know the whole Bronny thing has been kind of ridiculed and made into a joke, but you have to understand this man is playing with his son.
Right.
He's playing with his son, and the pictures that they put up,
And giving him assists.
like
we're not. He's scoring in the playoffs with his son
Like,
also scoring.
do you understand how mad that is? And
That
and,
is literally. Oof.
and you know why it's even mad is because it's LeBron. Like, don't get me wrong.
Right.
If this was another player who wasn't a superstar or known, it would still be an achievement. But because of all the scrutiny that LeBron's faced, all the naysayers, all the people who don't want to give him his flowers and his his just dues because they are Jordan fans or holding him to his finals record, which I hate, but it is what it is, right? Like what this man is doing, like if you look at the side-by-side pictures of him and Bronny in 2006, he's a baby.
Right.
And now that same baby is your teammate? What? Like,
It's
that's
insane.
mad. Like,
Insane.
your son, who was coming to NBA games when he was a baby, a toddler, who you were holding, and you were on a Cavs journey, that guy's your
Right.
teammate. Like, we've become so numb to LeBron's greatness that we're not really deep in, because the whole, initially it was, nepotism, Bronny ain't that good, he's only there because of LeBron, and that was the whole talk around it. It wasn't, no one was really caring that, this is actually mad what he's doing. Like, he's actually got his son on his team. And obviously, people not really believing Bronny was an NBA caliber player. He still looks like an elite G League player to me, but he is good.
So, but what I would say to that, and this is more to do with trying to be as objective as possible, when his dad does retire, what's the next step for him? Because I feel like the security blanket of his dad being the Lakers
Yeah.
has kind of allowed him to progress more than I think most players in his position would have done. Because I think what now happens is obviously they hope that he's going to blossom and he's going to have a decent bench player or a starter in rotation at some point. I don't know if he will ever be a starter for a team in a championship caliber level, but he's obviously proven he can play in the NBA. And I think where it becomes more tricky is what's his journey going to be like. Because I think I saw in the chat someone saying, is Bron going to wait for Bryce? I'm like, I don't think he can wait for Bryce. I think that's too far of a stretch for him to wait for Bryce as well. The fact that that's...
No, go on.
Yeah, go on. No, I was just going to say the fact that that's even a conversation is just how amazing his levels are. Because we're like, you said 2 years, and I'm like, I kind of feel like 2 years is a lot at his age. But he's doing stuff people at his age shouldn't be doing. No one should be this competitive in their early 40s in the NBA. Like, we're talking players are coming up to him saying, you played with my dad, who started in the NBA after you, has retired, and now I'm playing against you.
And he's played against several son and dad combos.
Right.
Like a lot of them, right? And I think, well, your first question was what happens to Bronny once LeBron retires. I think that all depends on what Bronny does between now and when LeBron retires. If he improves and if he continues to grow, which I believe he is doing, and don't forget, he is a brand. He is a James, right? He is still LeBron's son. LeBron still has Paul, And I definitely believe his career isn't over once LeBron leaves. I think he might turn into a journeyman. You know what I mean? I think his first year or two, once LeBron retires, will dictate the rest of his career. I think he's definitely a NBA bench player. I wouldn't say he isn't a starter. Let's be honest, he's not a starter, but he definitely is a good role player. Again, he gives elite G League vibes. But if he continues to improve, I think he will have a decent NBA career. And people are forgetting that he still is a brand. He's still LeBron James' son, and that does count for something. And that could help him. That could help stretch his career more than it would have if he wasn't LeBron's son, basically. And the fact that he does play for the Lakers, does give nepotism, because that was essentially an orchestrated move to get him there. But
Yeah.
I ain't knocking it.
Neither am I.
Yeah. Someone asks.
But would you?
Yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say. So would you say that this should be something that people can use as a way of saying his legacy should be more cemented? Because obviously there's some people that you'll never convince he's better than Jordan.
Yeah.
That it's just Jordan's number one, he's number two. I've even seen people say, can you put him two, that Kobe should be two and LeBron should be three? And I'm like, I feel like you said, I feel like people are numb to how crazy this is, that what we're seeing. I personally wouldn't put him over Jordan just because of the way I look at your legacy. I feel like Jordan's legacy for me is the amount of serious guys in the NBA could not get a ring because he was there. I think that's a flex that I don't think a lot of people talk about, because obviously LeBron's done it for so long. So that's the reason why he gets that whole, the younger generation looking at him saying, of course he's top. And I think the older heads that talk about Jordan being on top of him, they just look like they're hating on LeBron because they've seen it, and they've seen it through the eyes of, he wasn't able to stop like the likes of Curry. He wasn't able to stop the likes of Dirk getting that crazy ring when he got it for the Mavericks. He wasn't able to stop like a KD coming through, or Kawhi. And it's just like, I feel like the one thing that I've always said I will stack in LeBron's side is the fact when you say to him, who's your coach? Who's the guy that you can say took you to the levels that you've got to and helped you become that player? Because I think every top guy has had that. And I think that's what makes LeBron so unique. He's sort of done it on his own and brought coaches with him, which is just mad to say. That his coach now is a player that came in after him, retired, and is now his coach.
No, like his longevity is incredible, man. Like for him to stay in the shape he stayed in, physically and mentally, and like they'll do comparisons. Like he might do like a dunk, and they'll compare that same dunk from 20 years ago and look at how high he's jumping, and they'll pull out the stats, and he's only dipped a little bit in terms of like his vertical leap and stuff like that. Like physically, he's just a different species, man. But you see the whole Jordan and LeBron debate. I was even talking about this the other day. Actually, it was actually Jordan, LeBron, and Curry. Me and my boy were talking about who out of those three players has the biggest, who's left the biggest basketball legacy, and who changed the game the most. And I argued that I believe Steph Curry has influenced the game of basketball more than LeBron and Jordan did, because of the 3-point shot. Jordan, to me, has the better, like if you were going to make a movie about a basketball player, you would pick Michael Jordan, because he had just a historic, like three-peats either side of a baseball retirement, because his dad passed away, and that was his dad's wish. You know,
Mm.
the brands, the Air Jordan, Space Jam, like his career was just like a fairy tale. Like LeBron's is as well, but LeBron's career has a lot more, I guess, failures than Jordan has. Like Jordan never lost the finals, right? 2 3-peats
Yeah,
and
I think failure just seems harsh though when
well,
you talk
okay,
about LeBron's career.
failure might be a harsh word, but let's be honest. The reason why LeBron isn't in most people's eyes the GOAT because he's lost 6 finals. Is 6 finals, right? Yeah, 6 finals.
Yeah.
He's been to 10. He's lost 6, and it's not a great record. You know, I'll give him a bly for a few of them, and that's why in most people's eyes, you know, he isn't the GOAT. But for me, as just a basketball player, when it comes to, you know, skills and fundamentals and, you know, just doing everything well, I think LeBron is better than Jordan. But I think Jordan just has or had the better career in a certain aspect. But obviously LeBron has broken all the records and, you know, but people say that, yeah, because of longevity. It's only because of longevity he's broken Kareem's points record. It's only because of longevity he's on XYZ, right? And to me, longevity is, you know, I give him kudos for that. And
Yeah, no, that should be something you put and say that's part of his legacy. Like it's not his fault that, you know, he's been able to keep himself not just fit, but at a high level for such a long time.
yeah,
And has also changed his game. Because that's the other thing that people don't talk about. LeBron coming into the league wasn't known as this scorer the way he's gone on and broken the points record. So he's had to change it. He wasn't known as a 3-point shooter. He's been able to boost that. He's always been able to add layers to his game
yeah,
that other people thought he didn't have. Because we've always known he was a good passer. Like he came into the league as a very gifted passer. So that's what they thought he was going to come into. He could play anywhere, but the main thing was he was a facilitator that could attack because of his athleticism. And I think what he's done quite well. And I think if you compare it, I don't know if anyone would compare it, but if we bring it back to football, I think that's why certain people would compare it a little bit to like the CR7 arc,
mm,
the same way, but obviously it's slightly different because when he came into United, there was that fanfare of this is a player, but no one expected him to be as good as he ended up being. Rather than LeBron was supposed to be this guy, but so far exceeded expectations. I think people are trying to chip away at how great this guy has really been.
yeah. No, I think that LeBron, because of how great he is and has been, I think there's not been a conscious effort, but there's been an effort to not give him everything that he deserves. Like, I think there's certain seasons where he should have won MVP and he didn't, because
Mm.
they say it's voters fatigue. That, you know, you're almost tired of giving someone something all the time, so you just give it to someone else.
Yeah.
There's that. There's actually no. Before I even carry on, back to what I was saying about me and my boys' conversation. Right, it was
Mm.
Steph changed the league in regards to, you know, just even from a grassroots level. Okay, this is a 3-point dominated league now. You don't have to be an athletic, high flying dunker. You can be 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" with a great 3-point shot and make it in the NBA, right? And
Right.
that changed how basketball was played, how players develop, and how, you know, even just young players, how they practice. Okay, cool. I'm gonna be a 3-point shooter like Steph Curry now. I'm gonna make sure I got the best 3-pointer. Like, but LeBron never done that, and neither did Jordan. Jordan's legacy for me is just those magic fairy tale moments. The brand, Air Jordans, the trainers, the logo, the dunk contest, and just even dunking and whatever. Like, whereas LeBron, his legacy is in terms of how he changed the NBA is more so about, and I know he wasn't the first to do it, but you know, he's credited with, you know, creating the Big Three era with, you know, superstars teaming up, even though he wasn't. But for some reason, ever since the Heatles happened, from that point onwards, it was, oh, you know, this is all because of LeBron. When there were super teams formed before him, but for some reason, his decision, right, that was a start in everyone's eyes of, you know, the Big Three era. And the league, in my opinion, like, if you're a contender, you putting your roster together was to try to stop LeBron, right? The Golden State Warriors team with KD was designed to stop LeBron. No? That's what it was for.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, that's what it was for. So it's
But
like,
but what I would say, what I would just say
yeah,
to the Big Three era, and I think this is more to do with the way the story's been told, because I think the original Big Three is the Boston Big Three of KG, Paul Pierce, and Allen.
yeah, correct.
That was the Big Three that everyone was really shocked about when it came together. But obviously, the LeBron one looks different because of the fact that I think they came in, it wasn't as natural. They literally said, "This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it." And I
Okay.
think the league wasn't ready for that.
So more of a orchestrated
Yeah, so
Big
he
Three.
started.
Oh,
I
you know
think
what?
that's also
Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah.
What I've just remembered is it's more so about the players having power, as opposed to the Celtics Big Three. I don't believe that was the players, you know, conspiring or talking behind the scenes. Oh, you guys, let's team up, right? That was the team who put that together. Whereas LeBron's decision and the way the Heatles came together was more so the players orchestrating it, right? Them deciding to, I believe it was, you know, sign similar contracts, so they all become free agents at the same time. Even Carmelo was meant to be a part of this. I'm sure you know that already. But he decided to sign.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Yeah, he
The
decided
contract he was offered. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
so
I can understand it.
so he signed rather than, you know, giving himself that leeway. So I think the narrative probably more so is LeBron started the whole player power movement in regards to the players dictating where they want to go, as opposed to the teams having most of the power. I think that's probably more so than, you know, he created the Big Three era, because that was happening before him. There's even some washed Big Threes. I remember, who was it? Was it Elijah one? This is the Rockets. Elijah one, Chuck, and someone else for the Rockets back in the day in the early 90s.
Was that Peyton? Was that the Peyton one where they tried to
wasn't
up?
it wasn't Peyton. Who was it? No.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is they.
Oh no, it was what's his name? It was
Was it
Pippin, wasn't it Pippin?
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
Pippin try to come with that?
Was it Pippin?
Yeah.
Was Clive Drexler part of that as well?
I think he might have been.
I think it was Drexler. Yeah, Drexler. If I'm not mistaken, Drexler, Pippen, Elijah Wan, and what do I keep forgetting?
And Chuck Cummings.
Why do I keep forgetting Chuck's full name?
Barkley.
That's it, Charles Barkley. I'm too used to calling him Chuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, LeBron's not responsible for creating Big Three, but I think it's more so player empowerment. Yeah, so yeah, it's Drexler. Player empowerment and players having more of a say about where they go. Like, if you look at the way James Harden moves in regards to, you know, when he wants to move, he gets his way. They might say, oh, that's off of the back of LeBron's legacy. You know, players feeling like they can dictate where they go, force a move here, force a move there. Like Harden, he jumped, like whenever he goes to a team, if he's not happy, I'm leaving. Whereas in the past, the team were like, you're not getting nowhere. But players kind of have that power now, and I feel like LeBron is probably the poster child for that. But for me, he's the GOAT, but his finals records, you know, is something that, you know, it's not pleasing to the eye. But I feel like because of what's happened with him in the last couple of years, people don't really care about that no more. I used to hear a lot more complaints about, you know, LeBron ain't the GOAT because of his finals record. But now, because of, I guess, the longevity, because of, breaking Kareem's scoring record and just all the other stats he's accumulating, plus playing with Bronny, I think at this stage of his career, people are just like, you know what? His career is what it is. 4 rings is what it is going to be. He could still get a 5th, who knows? But I think people have settled on the idea. At least I have anyway. Because trust me, I was the whole LeBron needs another ring. He needs at least 5. He needs 6. Like 4's not good enough. Now I'm like, you know what? 4's fine, man. Like for the career he's had, for the things he's achieved, 4's cool, man. But I was definitely 4's not enough before. You know what I mean? But back to.
So do you?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, sorry, go on. No, I was just going to say, so do you feel, because it's slightly different for me. I feel like people are more entrenched because he hasn't got that 5th ring into he's definitely number 2, like, and saying number 3. I feel like they're happy to talk about the longevity as an afterthought, but then equally they'll talk about it saying it's like it's an achievement, but they're like, oh, of course it's an achievement because sports science has gone. People just start talking all that mess, and I'm like, no, this is not normal. Let's not talk about it as if because the old heads didn't have this, that's the reason why he's doing it. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted your thought.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Even just to answer your question, or even just to follow up on your statement, I think it's like, obviously you've got 2 factions of fans, right? You got LeBron and you got Jordan, right? People who think LeBron's the GOAT, Jordan's the GOAT, right? It's like, are we as LeBron fans trying to convince Jordan fans that LeBron's the GOAT, right? It's like everyone's pleading their case, but what's the goal? Is it to convince the other fan that no, this person is the GOAT, or is it just, you know what, we both believe this and that, and we're just gonna argue about it until the end of time, right? Because nobody can convince me that Jordan's the GOAT over LeBron, because that's what I believe, right? So if LeBron gets another 2 rings, people who think Jordan's the GOAT, they're not going to change their mind. Because to them, Jordan is the GOAT, period, no matter what LeBron does, right? And I think if we were to change, or if a Jordan stand's mind was to change, I think the way LeBron wins his next 2 rings, if he does get 6 rings, would have to be because of him. So let's just paint this crazy scenario right now, right? Let's just say Luka and Reeves don't come back, and somehow the Lakers win the championship this season, right? Crazy thought, right? But imagine, because of how that ring happened, that strengthens his case, right? If LeBron would have won 2 or 3 more rings back when he was getting to the finals, right? Let's just say, he got 3 in Miami rather than 2, and he got 2 in Cleveland, yeah, rather than 1, and he had 6, and he had 6 right now. I don't believe Jordan fans would be like, oh, LeBron's the GOAT, right? A 7th ring, maybe more so, right? How LeBron wins rings will definitely play a part in how he's viewed, especially at this age, because if LeBron is the 3rd option, let's just say Giannis comes to the Lakers next season and he stays, and it's Luka, LeBron, and they try to discredit LeBron for the bubble championship, for God's sake. So it's like how you win matters to people. And because he's no longer in his prime, and he's no longer like, let's just call a spade a spade. If LeBron wins another ring, he's not going to be the main player of the team. He's not going to be the star of the team, right? If he wins another ring, he's going to be maybe the 3rd option. He's going to be the oldest player on the team, but he's not going to be the franchise player, right? And Jordan fans will still discredit that ring. So I think right now, it's kind of just settled. If you think LeBron's the GOAT, he's the GOAT for you. If you think Jordan's the GOAT, he's the GOAT for you. Nothing LeBron can do now at this age, in my opinion, will convince anyone, unless what I just said happens. He wins this season without Luka or Reeves. Like, he beats this OKC team as a 41-year-old man and gets to the finals and then beats Boston or whoever. If he does that, then if you're a Jordan fan and you can't see the greatness in that, but I'm making sense. At this age, he has to do something like insane.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
For Jordan fans to even give him, give him any leeway.
Boy, I think for me, like, if he does from this age on, I think because of who he is, it's going to be really tricky to give him any credence for any ring, because most times you're going to expect him to not be the best player. And I just don't know how he's going to be able to get another one. I think if he does it this year, then yeah, it's done. People are just going to say what they're going to say, but it's still one of the best rings we've seen because of who he's beaten.
Yeah. All right. Let's before we end the call, let's paint a scenario in regards to how we see LeBron maybe getting another ring, right? I think if he stays at the Lakers with Luka and Reeves, and they bring in, I don't know. I feel like the Lakers need another like Giannis. Like, let's just say Giannis, because Giannis is a free agent next year, right?
Yeah, but it's the money.
Yeah, it's the money.
I don't know if they'll make them. The money won't make sense. I don't think.
Let's just say the money can make sense, right? This is paint our own scenario, and it's Luka, LeBron, and Giannis, and a nice team of role players, and you know what I mean. And he wins a ring. He wins a ring that way, as a third option, but still contributing good numbers and still being, that veteran presence and being a leader. I think he gets credit for that ring. If he goes and joins, I don't know, OKC, he's ring chasing, right? If he goes back to Cleveland and plays with Harden and Mitchell and he wins, I think he gets credit for that ring, because you've gone back to Cleveland again, and I wouldn't even say he's the third option on that team, to be fair. I would put him a bit higher, or like joint. But because of Cleveland and what that team means to him, I think he gets credit for that ring. If he goes and joins Golden State, which is a big rumor, and they bring in some young players, some role players, and they somehow put together a decent team, that ring would be, oh yeah, he went and teamed up with Steph. I think that ring gets a bit less credit. From this is going to sound cliche because I'm a Knicks fan, but I think how I want LeBron's career to end is this. I want him to either go and play for the Knicks, and not because I support the Knicks, because the Knicks are one of the biggest franchises in the NBA, right? They are an historic basketball franchise, an historic basketball city. If he could somehow end his career by bringing a ring to New York City, do you know what that means for basketball? That's insane. Being how big New York is in terms of like basketball fandom and just the whole franchise, I think ending your career in the mecca of basketball and winning a ring would be a great send-off. I think going back to Cleveland as well and ending your career where it started would also be great. Or I don't really care for him to go back to Miami, but I think it should be one of three things, in my opinion. Either stay at the Lakers and try to win with the Lakers in the next, let's just say he retires in 2 years. Go back to Cleveland and try to win with that young team, which I think adding him gives them a great chance, especially in the East. Or, a Hail Mary trying to make it work with the Knicks. The Knicks have a good team. Add LeBron to that team and it's trouble. And just the story of it being New York, man, that's the mecca of basketball, massive franchise. What New York basketball means to just basketball, I think that'll be great. But do you want another team on your resume? Do you want another? You know what I mean? Like, you've already got a bit too many teams on your resume. As LeBron James shouldn't even have more than 3 teams on his resume, to be fair. So the fact that it would mean.
Hear you.
What's that?
I hear you. No, I'm saying I hear you,
yeah.
But part of me feels like you are putting a bit too much Nick sauce on that one. I don't think. I think after the decision, he kind of made it clear that he's just like, I appreciate your efforts to try and get me, but I don't think I'm coming New York. I think the two options are either go back to Cleveland or stay in LA. And I feel like the way he feels in LA is more to do with what his business interests are outside. So
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's the reason why
100%.
I think he's so that's why I'm like the 2 years. If he does do 2 years, I think he might have to go. But yeah, I'm not sure if he's gonna go. I think if he goes to Cleveland, it's sort of like I don't. I, it's the way the team will gel around him. I think there's still enough pieces that will still depend on him being one of their better players
Yeah.
for him not to possibly do it. Because I think he will still look it as people will still try to look to him as he's got to be that LeBron, and I just think he doesn't want to do that. I don't think he wants to be anywhere where he's still got to be that person. I think he's annoyed that he's sort of had to do it this series because of injury. Because
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
part
yeah.
of him's like the body's like I'm struggling.
Oh yeah, no.
I can
LeBron doesn't want to carry the load anywhere he is. Like, why would he
no
at his age, right? The fact that he has to
right.
now, and he's doing it well, but of course that wouldn't be his first choice to be the main option, 100%. And I don't think any team would even want that to be the case. So for sure, and also the whole Knicks thing. Like, I get you. Obviously, that's a fairy tale fantasy scenario. That isn't even realistic, but that would just be from my heart. Like, what would I want to see happen? But realistically, it would be Cleveland or the Lakers. I do feel like though there is one other scenario in there, which is linking up with Steph at Golden State. Even though I would hate that, but there's been so much chatter around that possibility that I can't ignore it. I do feel like it is something that could happen. I would hate to see LeBron in the Golden State jersey. To be fair, I think that's worse for his legacy than anything else. Like, going to play for the team that beat you 3 times. Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
And a player who, this is gonna sound like this is just a LeBron stan statement, but Steph Curry kind of destroyed LeBron's legacy a little bit. Like, Steph's existence, along with KD. No, it's along with KD.
I hear the story you're going with.
Yeah,
Go
no, but listen, some of those rings are meant to be LeBron's rings, man. Like, in the story of basketball, those rings are LeBron's rings, but Steph Curry was born, and then shit changed. Shit changed, bro.
I hear you, but this is why I feel like if there's a ring that I say you shouldn't have lost that ring, it's the Dirk ring. The Dirk should not be here.
But okay, cool. Hold on, wait. Sorry.
One of the greatest. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you know why I don't agree? Because do you know the teams that the Mavericks beat to win that ring? They deserve that ring. They beat everyone.
No,
They beat everyone.
Run is spoken about because of how he won it. The run was crazy, but equally, if you're talking player for player, that series, it shouldn't have been what it was.
Oh yeah, no, of course, yeah, no. For like player for player, 100%. Like, Miami Heat should have won that, right? But when I look at what and who the Mavs beat to win that chip, I have to give it to them. Right? For me, in terms of what rings LeBron should have won, I would agree with you that the Mavs was the first year at Miami, right? That was his first year.
No, was it first or second?
No, because
he got a ring.
No, he won the second.
When
year.
did he beat OKC? Was that the second one?
No, so
was that the second year?
No, he lost the first, 1-2, then lost the fourth. So he won. Yeah, so he lost the first. The first one was the first was Mavericks. The next two, no, sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. He lost the first one 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
No. He lost the first one to Mavs. The next two.
So when did he get the Spurs one? Was that the year before or after?
What do you mean get the Spurs one?
Where he beat the Spurs. Where they beat the Spurs.
That was either second or third. Then he lost to the Spurs on the fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
He beat the Spurs either the second ring or the third ring. Lost to them the fourth time, right? again, I think this is a bit of narrative that's contributing to what I'm about to say, but the narrative was, or what was seen and even spoken about by even D Wade, that LeBron didn't know how to lead at that point on the first year. He
Yeah.
I guess let's use a football term. He bottled it. Like they called it the greatest meltdown,
Yeah, for sure.
the greatest
For sure.
meltdown by a superstar ever, right? So he had the meltdown the first year. D Wade said that him and LeBron didn't know how to work together or play together yet. That he had to tell LeBron, "This is your team now. Like, take the reins.
Right.
This is your team. Stop deferring to me." And they had that talk after they lost, right? So
Yeah.
I would say the first ever finals he got to, no one even speaks about that because he was a young kid and people were surprised he even got them to the final, right?
Yeah.
So he gets a bye. Second one was Kevin Love and Kyrie were injured, right? So he gets a bye for that. I'm sorry. If those two are not injured, they win that first one.
I hear you.
Second,
Right, guys. Sorry, guys. I've got to drop off. I've got to get
that's cool,
out.
bro.
But yeah,
No, I appreciate your
I
time,
think
man.
Phipps is here though, so I'll let him take over.
All right, bro. All right. Thanks for
Alright,
calling, bro.
alright.
Appreciate you.
That's all right.
All right, man. All right. Are we? Sorry, guys. I know you've come here to talk about Arsenal, but we shifted heavily into the NBA and we got into random fandom, man. LeBron James, the Lakers, the Knicks. Brent, have you got another call? Oh, Femstar. Femstar, talk to me, sir.
What's going on, people?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, welcome back, man. It's good to see you on the.
Thank
on
you,
our
man.
stream,
I appreciate you.
But you lot should have. I told Brent to tell us when this is coming, so we could have been prepared.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's
Well,
good to
trial and
see you,
error.
man. Oh, I'm not really an NBA. I'm a casual fan, so I catch up in playoffs.
Yeah.
Just one question on that before I talk about football stuff.
Mm.
Do you think if LeBron trades out for his final year or 2 years, the Lakers will cut Bronny within a couple of months, or do you think they'll try and stick with him to save face?
But he might go wherever LeBron goes now. I think you're right. I think to save face, I think they'll keep him. I think people were trying to attach Bronny to LeBron like how Thanasis is attached to Giannis. But I think if LeBron goes Cleveland or he goes to Golden State or whatever, I think it'd be bad for Bronny's career for him to leave and go with LeBron, because that's setting a negative precedent. It's like your career is attached to your dad. You're not your own player. Then it becomes more of a novelty act. It becomes more of you double down on nepotism. So I feel like Bronny needs to even separate from LeBron, to be fair. So wherever LeBron goes next, Bronny stay at the Lakers or go elsewhere. I think going with LeBron to his next stop is a bad idea.
Okay.
And yeah, my advice would be for him to stay where he is. And I feel like the Lakers would probably keep him to save face, to be fair. But we can't pretend that Bronny's inclusion hasn't got LeBron's influence written all over it. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man. Yeah, I was just reacting to the question that was on the screen about.
Let's go.
Mikel, man.
Yeah, man. Talk to me.
Do you know what? So 50-50 on this, but it's a really weird one. It's one of those ones where some of the stuff that we're doing now in terms of where we're getting to is historic, man. Like the club just don't do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Obviously, the winning is the be all and end all. But I always think, man, like when I talk to my friends, like I try and take the trolling stuff out of it, because I just noticed that a lot of other fans are so upset with their own teams that their only joy in football is Arsenal, basically. Arsenal not winning.
Oh yeah,
I find it
100%.
really strange,
bro. I'm befuddled by some of the specifically Man United fans that have been talking to me this season. Like I'm actually embarrassed for them, and what grinds my gears the most is their self-awareness is in the mud. Like they're so oblivious to how just loserish they're coming across. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
really nuts, man.
pathetic, but I can't,
Yeah. I
bro.
know. It's just because we got our own. We're facing our front. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
like
it's so weird. So I think sometimes if you take that out of it, and then I look at it, I say, how many football fans are actually genuinely happy with their club? And like, so I look, for example, Sunderland. I would have thought Sunderland are happy. Like they got absolutely slapped at home the other day. Fans
yeah,
are booing. They're talking about some rumors coming about they want to, get a new manager to go to the next level. So I really look at it and I say, like, are football fans really happy? And all my Chelsea fans that I talk to, they're always like, oh yeah, but we've won everything. But I'm like, but you lot are like booing your team. You hate your players. Like, is winning a trophy the be all and end all in football, or is it the consistent being at the top? Like for me, like Arsenal being at the top two, whatever, for the last 4 years is incredible achievement. Like, to be honest.
it's but that type of achievement gets old fast, right?
Yeah, it
So
does, but
once
but
you,
but
sorry,
what's
go on.
no, you go, you go.
Now I'm gonna say once you transcend into a new position, and that becomes the new norm, you now have to elevate to the next level, right? So we went from, this is Arteta, eighth, fifth, second, right? So what is it going to be, another 4 years of being second, right? The ultimate goal is to win the league, is to win trophies, right? So there's only so many years you can take finishing second, right? And we've had to deal with it for 3 years in a row, right? And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be second again and then second again. Like, it stops becoming an achievement, right? It was an achievement the first time it happened because it came out of nowhere. We can even say it was an achievement the second year because, you give people that grace to say, you know what, maybe it's just not our time, right? But a third year and a fourth year, there's no more grace period now. I'm sorry. Like, finishing second, it's like I mentioned earlier, like, we don't even speak about the fact that we are qualifying for the Champions League no more because it's now become the norm. It's expected now. So it's no longer an achievement to qualify because we've moved into a new stratosphere now. Now it's win the league. Win the league now. Okay, cool. You've finished second 3 years in a row. Remember, this happened before. This happened in the late 90s. We finished second 3 years in a row, and then we won it on the fourth. We've won it the fourth time.
Yeah.
And bro, he has to win something. Like, based on how this season started, to end this season with nothing, I can't even. It's mad. Like, nothing again. Like, so what is your? So what's your? Are you? So if he
You know
wins
what?
nothing,
I just separate it, man, because everything you're saying is true, but then it's that unknown of, okay, if you sack him, yeah,
yeah,
and then you bring someone in, what's the chances of it, like, you just drop into the middle of that pack to be fighting with Aston Villa, Liverpool, Manchester United for third and fourth and fifth place? There's also a chance that you could go that way.
yeah. No, you could, but I think. Sorry, excuse me. I think the board are, even though they're likely frustrated with the fact that he hasn't won anything, they're probably happy with the fact that we're finishing second, we're qualifying for the Champions League again, and we're bringing the money, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I'm pretty sure that they want trophies, right? So if Arteta was to leave, was to get sacked, was to go, it's about who replaces him, right? You don't replace
Yeah, exactly.
you don't replace Arteta with Fabregas, right?
Yeah.
You don't bring in another former Arsenal player who's a new manager to take over the reins, right? You cover your backs by bringing in someone who's proven, a proven winner, a manager that has won the big trophies, has the cachet, and you go from there. I would take Klopp, I would take Simeone, I would take Zidane. I'm talking about people who may or may not be available, right? And you take that punt. If, for example, they sack Arteta and bring in Fabregas, right? And Fabregas doesn't win, but he like Arteta comes close or takes us down and we start finishing 5th and 6th, it's like, oh, why did you hire Fabregas? Why did you hire someone who is new to management, who hasn't got the relevant experience? If you hire Jurgen Klopp, right, and he finishes 5th or 6th or whatever the case may be, you care a bit less because the excuse of, oh, he's a novice manager doesn't exist. And it's easier to bear because, all right, there's other factors involved here. How well are the other teams doing around us? Like, you stop blaming the manager at that point sometimes, because it's like, I think right now Arteta is bearing a lot of the blame. There are so many different factors to why. Someone even mentioned in the chat, injuries have played a massive part in our seasons. In our, I guess, demise or our dip in form. But he's doing a good job. He is, because we are where we're at. But has he hit his ceiling? Mm-hmm. Right? Sometimes you have a ceiling, and this might be his ceiling, and it might be his ceiling because of who his competition are. Right? If Pep wasn't around, would Arteta be, numero uno? Right? However you say it, right? If there's so many factors that kind of determine your outcome, and I just feel like, to be fair, no, let me even get your answer first. So, if he don't win this season, does he stay or go?
I think he stays. I think they give it one more go. But for me, the one thing that I would do is something that happened to a few managers, which is I would force him to change his coaching staff. At least a few people on his coaching staff. The reason why I say that is a lot of this would be a little bit more bearable if the football was entertaining and watchable. I think a lot of the noise would calm down. Like, some of the big noise is mainly about the fact that we just look so robotic, and I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know if it's player quality or if it's style of football. I'm not sure, because I think that's one of the biggest issues, man. But what I was going to say is, you was talking about NBA before. Now, I remember, and I was just looking it up actually, Denver Nuggets, who are owned by the Kroenkes.
Yeah.
Their coach, I think they said here his name is Michael Malone. He had won the championship. He'd won the NBA championship.
Yeah.
And he was getting the team into the playoffs. They were 3 games away from the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Kroenkes sacked him because they said the foundations are there, but it says here, it is necessary to take a step to allow us to compete at the highest level right now. And that's Josh Kroenke speaking. So I think you might be shocked that they might want to just push it to that next level. But I don't know, man. These guys are, like you said, they're getting money. They're getting on top. Like, the money that Arsenal are making now is unbelievable compared to what it was before.
Yeah.
If they get to the Champions League final, look at the prestige of that kind of, even getting there. It's going to be big for people like them. Their eyes are going to light up, and they might just, and they don't have to do anything with Arteta there. He kind of runs the club by himself, so it's easy for them.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, going back to your staff comment, I find it hard to resonate with that thinking, because I believe that Arteta is the dictator and that it's not his coaching staff that are influencing his decisions. I think it's him. I know everyone's going to come with their own thoughts, opinions, and, what they want to add to the pot. But ultimately, and this just might be my skewed view on Arteta, I feel like he's just in control. And they obviously share their thoughts, and it's a collaboration, I'm assuming. But if you're giving out a pie ratio, I think he has the majority of the say and the final say. So I don't think changing the backroom staff changes, because it's still Arteta, right?
Well, he's got to get some sort of coach that can. Someone's got to tell them, like yesterday. I think yesterday was like the prime example of everything that's bad about Arsenal in terms of style of play. Like, there's some sensationalism stuff like, oh, Arsenal are not defensive. They just it's just this weird thing of they can't execute the final bit. Like yesterday, they had so many chances to punch the ball forward when you're in like the 35-yard line, and they'll either pass sideways or with Nani, he's just terrible with his execution of anything really, apart from he can beat a man, but after that he's just rubbish with everything else. Or like the Gyökeres chance where he just has to pass the ball 5 yards. It's like those types of things are not about defensive. You're being defensive. It's like if you looked at it, and you could have won 3 or 4 nil yesterday. If that's on the players themselves. So I'm wondering, is it then a player quality thing? Because if you take our forwards without Saka, I don't think a majority of them would get in any of the top 5 teams in that league. Maybe even lower than that.
As they would.
Yeah, but I mean, he's only started playing further forward now. So what I mean is, let's look at the three that are causing us issues right now: Madueke, Gyökeres, and Martinelli.
Those three, no, for sure. But you see, when it comes down to how we play or finish in the final third of the pitch, to me that isn't about the coaching; it's about the player quality. Because you see, when Arsenal lose or we draw, and everyone complains about it's Arteta's fault, right? Did Arteta tell you to miss? No. Did he tell you not to shoot when there's opportunity to shoot? No. Did he tell you to, have a tame attempt at goal when you could have hit the ball with some venom and some conviction? No. All right? The possession-based football that we play, that comes from Arteta. But if we have 6 shots on target in a game, but we draw, if one of those goals goes in and it results in us winning, then no one complains about Arteta. No one complains about the style of football, right? It's frustrating because fans, and I guess this is just the way football is, right? You only really, how can I say this? Let me even divert from this point real quick and ask you a question. Do you put most of the blame on the manager or on the players with the results and how, the outcome of games? Like, obviously, besides the things he can control, team selection, tactics, setting out the team, play, like in-game management. Because I feel like people will forget the fact that, Gyökeres might miss a few chances or misplaced pass here, and just all the individual errors the players make on the pitch that would have resulted in a better outcome, and you still blame the manager. So, and I'm going back to my whole old school comment, like I made earlier. I find it hard to deal with this era of football where it feels like the manager the manager has so much control. You've got Arteta on the touchline, literally barking orders all game long, pointing to where he wants you to go, stay, run, pass, whatever the case may be. It's like, let the players just play, right? I'm from an era where the players play. Like when I play football, not at a professional level, but just whatever, school level, Sunday league level, you're given instructions. But if I feel like I have to do A rather than B because the game state right now calls for this decision, I'm going to do it. And if it's results in a better outcome, fair enough. If not, I live to fight another day, right? But I hate the narrative that, Arteta controls the players too much and, he's a defensive-minded coach and whatever the case may be. The Arsenal players have enough opportunities most of the time to win games. No? I believe that they do, right? But
do you really believe so, though?
Yes, the difference now is, I'm not talking about just shots on goal. I'm talking about we have enough quality, and bar obviously a few anomalies, not every single game per se, but the majority of the time I'll say that.
Yeah.
We have enough opportunities to win games. We have enough shots on target to win games, to score more goals. We have enough of the ball to create better chances for ourselves, right? And that just comes down to the fact that we're not playing well right now. We're not creating enough chances to where, you know, the chances we do miss don't matter, because we might create 6 chances, miss all 6. Another game we might create 12 and score 3, whatever, like just whatever the numbers are. Yeah, it's Arsenal is a weird code to crack, because it's very hard to put your finger on what is the matter. Even if you look at set piece, ole, set piece scores have dried up, and why is that? Why is Gabriel no longer meeting headers in the box? Why is that? Is it because the deliveries aren't as good anymore? Gabriel isn't attacking the ball well enough anymore? Is it better defending from the opposition? Have teams figured us out? Are we not getting that many corners? You know what I'm trying to say? There's been so many like narratives this season, and it feels like the whole set piece narrative was last season, because I haven't heard about that for so long, because we haven't done it for so long. You know what I mean? So it's hard to put a finger on why we have dipped like this. Like you could say fatigue. I was mentioning this earlier.
Yeah,
fatigue,
I was
injury.
fatigue, yeah.
But I do feel like it's a mental thing with this team, man. Honestly, like I do feel like the energy around Arsenal as a club, it's kind of weak. It feels weak. It doesn't feel like Arsenal are a strong-minded club from the way they move normally in the transfer window. Even on the ethical level, great ethics. We always do things the right way, the proper way. And we're just a nice club, which, this is another point that I'll get to later on, which always irks me to why we're hated so much. Because Arsenal is a nice club. Arsenal are not, we don't have a racist fan base. We're not known, we don't win because we have oil money. Like, we've just done things the right way. But yet we have such a hated fan base for God knows what reason, because our fans are entitled or whatever people want to complain about, right? But at the core of it, we're not killers, man. That's what I'm trying to say. We're not killers. If Arsenal were killers, this league is done already. Let's call a spade, man. If Arsenal are killers, this league is done, dusted, time ago. But we ain't killers. We're weak mentally. And that's why I hate the whole, they're anxious, they're nervous. Nervous about what, man? Like, I'm nervous about what? You're millionaires, for God's sake. You're getting paid to play football and you're telling me you're nervous to win. Because what? You're scared. Have you got imposter syndrome? What is it? You're scared of the light. You're scared of the shine. You're scared to, I don't understand. If I want something in life and I'm close to getting it, and I actually want it, I'm going to grab that with 2 hands. I'm not shying away from a prize that's right there for me to take. So I don't buy into. I know it exists, but I don't really buy into it. Right? Like, for example, I don't give you grace for that. I don't give you grace for, shying away from the moment or dimming your light because you're scared to win. What do you mean you're scared to win? That's why you're here. That's why you're playing football. You're playing football to win. So for me, I'm gonna put the demise down to mental and physical fatigue, and just form. Like, sometimes you just don't play well, but when it goes on for a long period of time, that's when questions have to be asked. Because I never understand when a team has a bad run of 6-7 games. What are you guys doing in between these games? Like, I can accept one game here and there, but I can't accept, oh yeah, we've lost 6 on the trot. Oh, this is our first win in 5. What's happening in between these games to where you can't fix it the next game or the game after that? But this is football, isn't it? That's the way football goes.
You see, the thing that fatigue thing is really interesting, because when you really think about it, this is also linked to injuries as well.
Yeah.
And it's basically, how can I put it? It's like, it's not even like the injuries, it's the knock-on effect of the injuries. So when you got injury-prone players, it puts pressure on other players, basically. So Calafiori being out all the time means that he basically doesn't, I don't know why he doesn't trust Miles anymore in left back, but he doesn't trust Miles.
If I hear the word, and this is not a knock at you, if I hear Arteta don't trust one more time.
What, Miles, you mean?
No, don't trust
Or
anyone.
Ethan?
Like, Arteta don't
I
trust,
think he-
insert player name here. That sentence drives me crazy. Because,
Yeah, but he
and
has the Arteta gulag is a thing though, bro.
I know it's a
There's
thing,
some
but,
players that just
and
go in the gulag and they never come out.
maybe it's because I'm an Arsenal fan, I don't hear it from other teams, but I don't hear Pep don't trust. I don't hear Klopp don't trust, or why is it always Arteta don't trust the players? I hate the fact that it seems like we have players he doesn't want to play. Why does Norgard only have like 30 minutes in the Prem this season? You know how ridiculous that is? Zubi is obviously tired. You tell me you don't trust Norgard at all to play him a little bit? He ain't played.
Yeah, there must be something that he's
Me
seeing in him.
and Norgard have similar minutes in the Prem this season. How do I have 30 minutes less than Norgard? I don't even play for Arsenal. You know what I mean? Like, Arteta, and that's why, and this is another conversation, but that's why we don't sell players well. Because Arteta makes it so clear when he doesn't trust a player or when a player is out of his thinking. Like, he benched Eze for 4 games. Why? Because of the Aston Villa mistake, whatever. Like, his player management sometimes is so poor. Why did he let Ethan go out on loan, please? Why?
Yeah, that was
Why?
nuts.
Why? Why is Ethan going out on loan? Why has Miles gone from a shining light and one of 2 of the best things to happen last season, England call up, England debut goal, to he's not going to the World Cup anymore and he's hardly playing for us in 1 year? Because of Arteta. Like, there seems to be no middle ground here. Like, Miles was here last season and this season he's here. He could at least be here rather than here. Like, he could at least still have a chance to go to the World Cup. But you ain't played him at all. Ethan now is gonna. Why is Ethan on loan, man? Nah, this manager.
He's not only on lock, he's having a bad time.
Yeah,
on
it does
loan,
my
man.
head in, man. Like,
We sent into like the worst environment.
look at our
Yeah,
track
he's
record
having-
of injuries. You thought that, yeah, send him on loan because it's fine. We have Marino, we have Odegaard, we have. Look what happened. This was the season you meant to just go for it, man. Keep everyone. Let's just go for it because, guys, we could do something great. Listen, I'm gonna wrap this up in 8 minutes so I can leave an
Yeah.
But
Nice one, man.
no, it's all good, bro. I appreciate you calling in, man. Let me ask you a question before you go.
Oh, go for it.
How does the season end for us? In your heart,
I think we'll win the league.
yeah.
Yeah, but we can't win the Champions League. We just can't.
All right. So
we
you
won't
think?
I think we'll get to the final.
Okay.
League winners and Champions League finalists.
Okay. Cool. So we lose.
And Saka comes back to form. That's my 3 things that I think will happen.
Okay. Listen, I'll take that. I'll take that, bro. But, bro, appreciate you calling in.
Nice one, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, man. Speak soon, man.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
I'll take care. All right, guys. I'm gonna 7 more minutes, and I'm gonna wrap this up at 9. It's been a great first episode. Obviously, I'm just getting back into the swing of things. I haven't done this, as some of you may know, for like 3 years. The last time I was on camera, talking, podding, was 3 years ago. So I'm still getting back into the swing of things, still getting my groove and finding my you know what I mean, getting a little pep in my step. So bear with me. But before I go, let's just look to next week. So we've got the first leg of the semi-final against Atletico Madrid. Havertz injured. Eze, I'm going to say tentative. So we'll see. Let me do a little predicted lineup for you guys. All right, I'm going to do this lineup based off of the premise that Havertz is injured. All right, so I think we do Rayo in goal, Saliba, Gabriel, centre-back. Hincapié had a great performance against Newcastle yesterday, so I think he keeps his spot at left-back. Timber. Where is Timber, man? If I'm wrong, correct me, but I think our recent form and results has kind of correlated with Timber's absence to a degree. Timber is missed. We need Timber back. But yeah, I think he might play Mascara. I think White had the Prem game. I think he's going to play Mascara. So I think it's going to be Mascara at right back, Gabriel Saliba, and Capier Raya. He's going to go with his main guys, and nothing against it, to be fair. Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and then the front three will be Saka, Gyökeres, and I'm going to go with the notion that Eze is fit. So Eze will start at left. If not Eze, I think they should start Trossard. So that's my predicted 11 for the game against Atletico. And I'll be back to react to that on Wednesday, guys. We'll try and put up we'll try and confirm the time during the week so you guys know exactly when I'm going to go live. But it will kind of just be after the game. So the game finishes, might give it like 10 minutes after the game, and then we'll be live, man. Follow me on the gram, and if there's anything you want me to discuss in the realm of sports, entertainment, music, film, TV, if it's something that takes my interest, I will look into it and look to discuss it here. So yeah, Big Man Use on socials, or you can DM Brent at The Pulse. Any suggestions, anything you feel like I might want to discuss or check out, let me know. Yeah, guys, it's been a great first episode. Thank you to the chat. Let me do some shout outs. Mr. Black Boy Joy, TC. Is this a real name or just some type of code? But shout out, I'm just going to call you TC. Shout out TC. I Am Energy Bars. Who else we got in here? DCF 1994. Shout out to you as well. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Miraculous Miri. She says Arteta stays. Who else we got here? Count the same. Who were the early? Let's go to the top if you can, Brent. The early Tim's _094. Is that I or L? Let's say L. Limis Snow Globe, shout out to you. Akua, Mandy, shout out to everyone. And the callers as well. Chia Joke. And how can I forget the last caller? Brent, what's the last caller's name? Femstar, sorry. Shout out to Femstar. Davina from Brum, Prophet. I want to see some of the old TDA people in the chat as well, man. And see some of you guys' names for years. I want to see some of your names in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, guys, I've been Yus. This has been the first episode of The Reaction. And I'll see you on Wednesday reacting to Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. First leg of the Champions League. Peace.